decisions that are made on behalf of children. You know, this past year we spent $1 million on a diversity office. And how did that benefit black children?
All right, so he's advocating for black children. I don't care if it's black children, Hispanic, I don't care what kind of children they are. How does it help any kids? $1 million in a small market for a diversity office. You know, the grift and the amount of money stolen, it's like the BLM deal. Nothing ever gets down to the kids that need it. But how is it helping kids? I don't care what they look like. At this point, let's keep going.
How did it benefit children in general? Well, 78% of 3rd through 8th grade black students are not proficient in math in...
78% aren't proficient. Again, I don't care what they look like. They're going to be my future neighbor. They're going to be working for me, working for you. I'll be working for them. I want these people to be smarter than I am. I want them to be proficient. And we're not talking calculus here. We're talking basic algebra. They're not proficient. And, you know, we're sending money all over the, you know, Ukraine, all over the world, and our kids are dumb.
Wake County, we're wasting taxpayer dollars putting money towards this diversity office that's not benefiting those who need it the most. 66.
You know, I could see if I was part of the black community and I've been preached to by the DNC, hey, we're looking out for your best interest. And all of a sudden, DNC left me behind. They went on to the Hispanics, and now they're on to the trans rights groups. And you go, wait, you said you're looking out for my best interest. I'm noticing my neighborhood's gotten less safe. The kids aren't as smart. Are you really looking out for my best interest? You kind of left me behind. You took me for granted. Is that ringing the bell to anyone?
6% of 3rd through 8th grade students are not proficient in reading. Black students, they're not reading on grade level. They're not performing mathematically, and they're not going to be able to get jobs.
So how can we justify sending another penny to any other country for any other cause but education? Because if we can't educate our youth, right, to be smarter than us in this high-tech world we're living in, what do we do? What do we spend our money on? And we can't just throw more money at it, right? Money doesn't solve it. Look at the highest per capita, per student districts in the country. They don't have the best outcomes. Like at Chicago, West Chicago, the most money put in, and they aren't the best outcomes. Obviously, parents need to engage, quit staring at your phone and the television, engage with their kids. But how we could put another penny into micro fractions or send it abroad, you know, I have no words.
Jobs in the fields like STEM, but we're wasting money on a diversity, equity, and inclusion office while we are failing black students in the name of diversity. You know, in the Jim Crow era...
Hate to tell this fella, but diversity left him. The big groups, the elite, the media, they've moved on. They'll talk about Black History Month. They'll placate to it. But you look in the neighborhoods, you look, it doesn't just affect black, it affects all kids. Kids that need this money could be of any race, of course, but they're typically poor because the parents are rich kids. They can send them to good schools, afford tutors, realizing this is important so they can live that lifestyle.
Black students were locked out of the public school system, but today they are trapped in. And many of these students need options. They need school choice. They need the opportunity to take their taxpayer dollars and take it to school systems that will benefit them and support them.
I'm sure you guys all know, but the teachers union is powerful. They say something and the DNC stands up. They say, okay, you don't want to get kids back into school yet? 2 years later after the cough, okay, we won't do it. We'll mask up the little guys. You know, you've got 4 pokes in your O-ring. Kids aren't getting sick. We'll mask them up, make you feel good. Now they're behind grade level. We've kept them out. And what was it all for? I mean, this, yeah.
And educate them. And as we talk about inclusion and making sure that the trans student feels comfortable and the queer student feels comfortable, what does that have to do with reading, writing, and arithmetic? As we are...
Bingo. Now I get it. You want kids to be comfortable so they can learn in a more effective way, right? If kids are stressed out, they don't learn as well if they're not stressed out. But we're talking a small percentage, and we can't placate to everybody. At some point, guess what? It's the parents' job. It's not the government's job. They're not good at that. But they can provide, here's a teacher, teach you math and science and geography and basic shit. And if the kid needs personal psychological help, the parents got to intervene. The government can't do it. And if they do it, it's going to suck. It's not going to be effective. Tell me in the comments what the government does really well when you think of the government and you think DMV, when you think of border, and you think, the list goes on. Let me know.
As we are teaching cultural Marxism and children to be the next, we are damaging our kids in this public school.
Whoa, I think he got a little online there. He doesn't like the lifestyle, I get it. But we don't have to sexualize kids and talk about, hey, I have a husband at home and I'm a man. Okay, great, that just stops right there. You don't need to wave the flags, and then Joey's got two daddies, and here's how the O-ring entrance works. I mean, these books are in school. If you haven't seen it, look it up. If you don't see how this isn't helping kids, how putting more money into this microfraction for diversity is hurting most kids because we're ignoring them, then I think you're missing the boat a little bit here.
School system, and it needs to stop.